seeing the first signs of spring. Okay, today we're talking about 3 new techniques for your forms. And the first technique we're talking about is something we've talked about in the past, and we're actually making it better. We've been doing webinars last year on how to use SMS text to authenticate users in the field, people with their cell phones. It's actually more secure than regular logins because there isn't any login. There's no password. They use a code to enter the code to verify who they are. We discovered a hole in this solution, the security hole, about 2 weeks ago, and we're fixing it. The security hole was the browser's ability to, if you're in debug mode, you can actually see the code. So if people are familiar with how to debug things in Chrome, they can just switch into debug mode, and they could, investigate and try to find out what the code is. And if they're really clever, they could figure it out. So we're patching that hole. The new system is also SMS, but we're using Authy app to generate those codes on the server. So the client form is not generating that verification code anymore, and that's really good because we plugged that gap. We're also going to show a quick demo of how to calculate time across time zones. And this is important if you have people in different time zones. And today I'm very happy to have Kirby Alfafara and Mel Clemente with me. They've done an incredible job to put this webinar together for you. In fact, they've done pretty much everything. Kirby did these wonderful slides, and Mel worked with her on the demos. And actually, I think, Mel, you're responsible for the Authy and the survey form that we're going to see for the automatic save forms. So I'm really happy to have them on the call. And I'm going to be switching to them in just a moment to do the demo, so you won't have to listen to me. But the third technique I want to talk about is also the save form technique. We're going to show you how to automatically save a form, which is really great if you've got a really long form. Let's just do a quick question out to you first before we go any further. I just have one quick question poll, which is, are you using our Forms Zero app? Because if you are, all of these techniques are available to you, and you can use them. If you're not, you'll want to install the Forms Zero app as soon as possible. So it looks like most of you are saying yes. That's great. Maybe one of you is saying not sure yet, but it looks like the majority of this relatively small audience today is all on board. So great to hear that. Thank you. So moving right along then, let's just talk for a moment about what we're going to show in the first demo. So the key thing with the Authy is you don't need to install Authy app. So this is you don't need anything. You can just add this to your form, and as long as you have an account with Authy, and your users do not need to install anything. So that's important. No installation required, because we wouldn't want to burden the external users with any kind of a app install requirement. So there's no installation required. And what you'll see is that when we do the authentication, sorry about that. You'll see these screens in the demo. And just to preface it, there is this text me a code. So if they don't have the Authy app installed, they just click on this button and they can just continue going about their day without having to worry about installing anything. So you'll see these 3 screens pop up when we do our first demo. We're going to demo the expense report form. And in fact, let's do that right now. Mel, I'm going to switch to you. Are you ready?
It's actually Kirby.
Kirby,
Yep.
sorry. Thank you. I have coffee. Here we go, Kirby. Okay, so I think we can see your screen. I'm just going to wait until I can see your screen before we hand over the audio. Okay, let's see the quick demo. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the expense report form that we have here, and I have myself as the submitter, the manager, and also the accounting manager, so that I can also approve the form once it's submitted. So here I'm gonna fill out the form. Let's say I'm gonna buy a testing tool. It's just a sample, and let's just attach a random receipt here and submit the form. Okay, so asking me to fix the image for scaling. And so here I have the my phone screen, as you can see. Let's just wait for the text message to be submitted.
Our expense report form has a lot of features, as you've probably seen in past webinars. We're generating a PDF, and we're doing image processing on the server. So in case you haven't seen this before, there's a lot of really cool things we've done in the past. And if you're interested in how to do optical character recognition on those receipts using Google's API or generate the PDF, feel free to ask us to show you that.
Yep. And now we have the text message from Twilio. And here, let's click the link in the text message.
And we have this one-click approval that we demoed back in January 17th, I believe, which is what Kirby's showing here. And what you'll see in a second is the verification. So the one-click approval doesn't require any authentication unless she waits more than 60 seconds. So she was able to get right into the form there without any prompting. But to approve it, we've added this. We've added the Authy verification for the approval process, just as a security verification, right?
Yeah, let's just wait for a few seconds more for the Authy to prompt.
Is it set to 60 seconds? I forget.
I think it was 90 seconds.
This Authy can be added to your forms relatively easily. We have a reusable component that we'll make available as part of the webinar package. And that reusable component has instructions in it. You can apply this to your forms. Okay, there we go. Great.
Yeah. Okay, so since we don't have the Authy ID yet, let's try to sign up. And I'm just going to select my country code and my mobile number. Okay, so as you can see, the Authy ID is now created, and I have received the code in my Authy app. And so here's a sample token. Let's copy that and paste it here in the text field. And also, if you don't have the Authy app yet, you can try to click on the text me a code instead. So it will text you the code. So let's try to click verify there. And yeah, that's how easy it is to use the Authy app. So now that we can approve, let's try to click the approve button. And since I'm also the accounting manager, I'm going to get another text message. So here we have also the users list in our SharePoint site. And as you can see earlier, we don't have the Authy ID yet. So if we try to refresh that, since we tried signing up earlier, so you'll see here that the Authy app or Authy ID is created.
And that Authy ID is unique per the user, and that's how Authy detects and keeps track of the users. It's generating a code on the server now, so we still need a unique way to identify the users, and we're using that Authy ID that's created by Authy, and we store it in the list, just like we would have stored a phone number or something like that. We're actually storing the phone number here. It's not encrypted, but in other examples we've done in the past, we have encrypted it. So it's a very secure way to do it. So just to recap, Kirby, you showed the expense report opening. You submitted an expense report because you were the manager of yourself. You got a code, you got a link in the email. You clicked on the link, and because you were so fast, it went right through. But if you waited more than 60 seconds, then it's going to want to verify you, and it's using the Authy app to do that, so that we don't have that security hole with the form creating the code, right?
Yeah, correct.
Wonderful. I'm just going to switch quickly back to my screen. Thank you for that quick.
Okay.
That was great. And hopefully you can see my screen now.
Yep, we can see it now.
Great. Okay, so that's the first demo. So once again, we'll give you that XML template part, which is a reusable section. You can add it to your forms. How long does it take, Mel? Is it like a 10 to 15 minute operation, or is it half an hour?
Even less, I guess 5 minutes will do.
5 minutes. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and as you saw, you'll need to have an Authy API key. So you'll need to create an API account. I think there's a free trial they'll give you for a month or so. It's really inexpensive. So that's not, it's cents per, 1 or 2 cents or 3 cents or 4 cents, whatever it is, per submit. So it's kind of like SMS text in terms of its pricing model. And you'll need to have the key rules in your form, and you'll need to do some rebinding, but those are in the instructions, so it's really easy to follow. If you're using Forms here, you don't really have to add key rules. It's already there. You just need to rebind the field correctly. So any questions on that, please let us know. Moving right along, we're going to show how to calculate time across zones next. And this is important because when you're filling out a form, it's local time. So let's say that you have a time-sensitive process. Like you've got users who, let's say you're in the East Coast, and you want to make sure that somebody fills out a form within a certain amount of time. So let's say it's, I don't know, an hour. But you have users that are in Pacific and Central and Mountain, or maybe they're in the Philippines, they're in a whole different time zone. If you calculate the time on that local form, it's going to give you a time that's relative to you. It's quite different. In fact, it won't give you a good calculation. And so in order to actually calculate the duration correctly, we're going to show the next technique, which is to get the universal time code. This is what we know as Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, same thing. It's basically the time of London. That's who set the time originally to be universal. I don't know why, but that's the UTC time. It's not the same as the New Zealand, which of course New Zealand has their New Year's first, right? They're the first ones near they're one of the first countries near the date line. You would think that the UTC would be that time zone, but it's not. It's actually London and the European area there that expands that. So we're going to quickly switch back to Kirby, and we'll do this quick demo to show you this. Kirby?
Okay, let me know if you can now see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so for this demo, we're going to use the Qdabra survey form. And here I'm entering my email address to verify. And for this form, okay, something's not right. Okay, let me just check the users.
I think it's case sensitive.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, someone updated my email here, so let me just fix that. Okay. Okay, so let's
Not
try to
consensus.
enter. Yeah.
That's good.
So for this form, we're still using the Twilio to send the verification code. So here I got 1248 is the verification code. And here's the survey. And just randomly selecting the fields. And here I'm just going to attach a sample picture. And here we also have this signature functionality. So let's proceed to submit now. Okay, so once that's submitted, it will go to the form library here. And if we open that, so here it shows us the elapsed time after submit. So the form correctly calculates the difference between the time it was submitted and the time the form is opened. So yeah.
So if I were to open that form, it's calculating it on load, right, Kirby? So if I opened the form,
Yes.
it would show 37 seconds on my, even though I'm in. Let me do that actually. Can you paste
Yeah.
a link into the chat real quick, and I'll do the same thing and show the same. So show that it's calculating it correctly from my end.
Okay.
Can you paste that? Yeah, paste it. Yeah, thank you for doing that. So I'm just going to share out my screen again. And hopefully you can see my screen now.
So we can now see it.
Thanks. And we'd expect it to be a little bit longer because more time has passed since the submit, right? Okay, 122 seconds, great. So I'm in Pacific time zone, Kirby's in the Philippines, so you can see that that's calculating it correctly. Wonderful. Okay, and let me just switch back to our slides. So that's a great job, Kirby, and thanks again for the slides and for the demos. The third technique that Mel's going to show in a second is how to automatically save forms. So for survey forms and for other forms that have a lot of questions, so somebody might get distracted, they might have to go away from their desk. You want the form to auto-save so they don't lose their data. And this is critical for a lot of different processes. We have customers that are filling out very complex forms. They have more than 100 questions. So you definitely want to do this. We use it internally for our timesheet form to automatically save it so that we're not losing data. But it's actually a more, when they're adding time during out the day for different projects, it'll automatically save it I think it's every 5 minutes. In this demo, Mel, I'm going to make you the presenter, but we're going to show how to do this. And I think the timeout's like 30 seconds for this last demo we've got, just to make it go quickly. We're not going to wait 5 minutes. Mel?
Yes, thank you. So I think you can see my screen now.
Looks good.
Right, so here is a demo survey form that we've come up with. It looks kind of different, doesn't really look like an InfoPath form, but it is an InfoPath form, rendered in Forms Viewer. And it just has a very nice background here with the CSS going on, and everything here is responsive. Just want to show you that. Like if I view this on my phone, and here's some screen mirroring of my phone here, it actually is scrunched down to fit my device's width. All right. So now here's our questionnaire here. I haven't done anything in this form, so I haven't saved it or something. Just gonna start filling it out. Yeah.
Wow, the roosters are really creating a cacophony this morning.
Mm, sort of access my background music. So yeah, trying to submit that. And so on the first click of next there, the form's just trying to save it for us. And at the bottom here, you can see the timestamp. So it shows us 26:14 a.m. And again, it's gonna try to save it because it started counting as soon as the 30-second count at least started to roll and I clicked next there. But I'm not doing anything right now in the form, not like making any changes. So that time's not gonna like change as soon as or unless I do something in the form data. So as you can see, I just click.
Yes, the key technique here is that you're only actually going to save it if there was a change, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So let's
So
go ahead and add a city and show them that working then. You're not going to hit
yeah,
next, but you're just going to add the date time. Great. And it's
okay,
automatically detecting the day of the week too. That's pretty cool. So we're
that's
going to
right.
wait 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Is it 30 or is
Right.
it 20?
30.
Okay. One of the other kind of really neat things about this form, this is a really awesome looking form, Mel, is this little page 1 of 4 at the bottom. I really love how you did that. There it goes. That was
Yeah.
right on the money. So it's, every 30 seconds it's checking, and when it does change, it saves it. So if it's saving it to the site, if you close it and reopen it, will it show that information?
Actually, let me go to where I'm saving it. It's going to right here. I haven't changed the library name, but I'm also just saving the GUID, the unique ID of that survey. So here we'll see this one guy here a few seconds ago.
Okay,
So as soon
great.
as it saved itself, it's just submitted to the library, yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. Yeah, that's cool. You want to, what else do you want to show them?
I guess that's it. I just wanted to highlight also the text boxes. As you can see, it's not your typical info path or browser text boxes. They're the date, like the green background, right? More like with or padding in those text boxes. And yeah, a lot of fancy cool stuff there. And if I even like go to landscape mode, see how, not sure if, yep, see how the texts are just
Yeah, it's beautiful.
automatically adjusting. Yeah?
Yeah, it looks
So
great.
that's how responsive this form is.
That's
That's it.
awesome. Very, very cool. There it goes again. Okay. That's great, Mel. Thanks. I'm going to switch back one more time and we'll finish up our webinar. And um, once again, this is a slightly more, I think, involved technique, right, Mel? But if you were to do this from scratch, how long would this take you on a form?
Oh, just that we can also create an XTP for it to make it a lot easier, but that one doesn't have much logic. We're just storing current XML, right? And then comparing it to the previous, to find out if the form has changed or whatnot. So maybe 15 minutes, I would say.
Oh, great. Okay, well, just to wrap up then, there's we're going to provide the steps and we haven't created an XML template part for this autosave, I don't think, but it's pretty easy to do it. So if you are interested in having us walk you through that, let us know. There's a short survey at the end, and I want to just do a shout out here. If you have forms already, it looks like most of you do, you know that it's the most cost-effective way to move off of InfoPath today. New features galore. We just showed you 3 new features that we've added, but we've done a lot of work. In fact, we showed a lot of other features that we didn't highlight in today's webinar, but we've highlighted in previous webinars, and that's where you saw the PDF generation, the responsive design, the nice buttons that Mel was just talking about. All of those things are new features that you can add to your existing forms to sort of upgrade them or up the feature set. So it's not just about removing InfoPath, but it's also about moving the forms into the future. And of course, you get us. you know, we're here for you, and we're very responsive as well. And we would love if you have any questions or help, let us know. And I'm going to ask you if you have any questions now again. But it's been great to present to you today. Looks like we forgot to record Curvy and Mel, and that was my fault. So we're going to have to re-record this. But if you do have questions for us now, let us know. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed the webinar today. We will make the package available in a few minutes. And I don't see any questions. But great job, gals. Curvy, Mel, this would not have been possible without your wonderful effort last night. And I just want to thank you again for the beautiful slides, Curvy, and for the demos, Mel and Curvy. And if anyone who's listening has any, wants us to apply this to their forms, like I said, it's simple to do. More than happy to do it. No need to create a support ticket or anything. We'll just do it for you. So please do contact us. And thanks, Molly, for that question comment at the end there. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Hey.